AJ, what I'm going to do now is we're going to go through some recent clips of Stuttering John's show where he's going after Anthony Cumia pretty hard.
Who's that guy, and why does he have a green screen without anything?
We'll talk about all that. If you want to hang out, AJ, you can. I know you're super busy, so if you want to...
No, I'll hang out. I'll hang out.
So I was hoping that Anthony was going to come on. I messaged with him yesterday. He said he would, but he's out in Dallas right now. He's probably not in shape to come on the show, which is fine. I think that this is going to be something he'll probably be talking about on his show anyway, because John decided to do a hit piece on Anthony Cumia with his buddy, Army Major Richard Ojeda. And for some reason, this is a political show, AJ. These two guys, all they talk about is how much they hate Trump and how left-leaning they are. I know, it's terrible. It's a terrible show.
Can't take it.
And for some reason, John goes along on this episode just to talk about Anthony and introduce that to Richard. Doesn't know anything about any of this. Doesn't understand the backstory. So he's going to play the famous Danny Brand video for Richard. And this is him.
How old is it? This
is him setting the. How old is the Danny Brand video?
No, this episode.
Thursday.
Okay.
2 days ago.
Okay.
Yeah. This just happened.
Yep, we're done.
We're good. I should mention, because they're going late, Richard's on the phone with his wife. The show is so unprofessional. People are taking phone calls like, hey, I'm still playing with my friends. Can you keep dinner warm?
Oh, my pizza's here.
Yep, we're done. We're good. I'm on Stuttering John.
I'm on Stuttering John. Oh,
again? Okay. All right. So, Army Major, you're a gun owner.
Yep.
Correct?
Yep.
Okay. So I want to get your opinion of this, okay?
Okay.
All right.
What happened to John's voice? Why is he talking
This is
that way?
a right-wing loon.
Oh, you haven't heard John in a little while.
No, I haven't.
Yeah, he's regressed. Yeah, he's not in good shape.
Okay, it's a new thing. All right, let me hear.
Yeah. No, it's insane. If you just look at a photo of John from 2 years ago compared to today, or listen to a show, it's a different guy. He's not well.
This is a right-wing loon.
Wow.
Who loses his gun after right before he gets arrested for strangulation on his girlfriend. Okay?
Okay.
All right. So he's going to play this video. Now, this is a video, if you're not familiar, that Ant's ex-girlfriend shot while they were in his house and then put it out on the internet. These people are very concerned about gun ownership. No one seems to be concerned about privacy in any way. I'd love to see someone take a video of Stuttering John at midnight in his apartment. See what's going on, get that all over the internet. But all right. So this is John. He's really leaning into this one.
If you lose your gun, should you be allowed to have a gun license, Army Major?
If you have lost accountability of a firearm that you own, that right there is a red flag that says you should not be allowed to own a firearm. Because at the end of the day, either you friggin' lost it, which is very, very, scary, or you probably sold it to somebody who probably shouldn't have a weapon in the first place.
So Richard has no idea what's going on. These guys don't live in places big enough where you could lose anything, so they're not familiar with that. But basically what happens in this video is Anthony's looking for his handgun. He doesn't know where it is in his house, and Danny's filming all this. So John's trying to pose the question, should he even be allowed to own a gun when you have something like this happen? And what's great is that John wants to find the clip of Anthony yelling, "Where's the gun?" There's this clip in this video where Ant's yelling, he doesn't know where the gun is. But because John's a moron, he never writes down the timestamp, so he's scrubbing the video back and forth looking for it. I put together a compilation of John trying to find that part to make his point to his buddy Richard.
So Army Major, this is
wonderful.
I just want to find, he starts screaming for his gun. Hold on.
Where's the last time you had it?
All right.
Baby, you want to sing karaoke?
All right, check it out, Richard.
Come on.
Where's the last time you had it?
So he loses his gun. I don't know. I can't find it right now.
Oh, God.
It's just crazy. It's crazy. But he starts screaming really loud. I can't find it now. Where the f- is my gun? Well, I don't know. I was trying to find him screaming and looking for his gun, but I can't. But I just think that this guy is a freaking piece of garbage.
Way to make your point, John.
Yeah.
Can you present some
Jesus
evidence?
Christ.
I cannot. I can't find it.
No.
So AJ,
it's like losing your keys. I mean, if you carry a gun every day like Anthony does, you put it. I mean, he should know where his gun is. Don't get me wrong.
Sure.
But we've all lost shit, and you start screaming. You look in crazy places like the refrigerator, the shower, the tub.
Yeah.
But John is trying everything he can. Look at him. He's like a hitman. He looks like a fucking hitman from the 70s, and he talks like one too. What happened to John?
I would say Coors Light happened to John, would be my guess.
He's fucked up on this show too. He's not straight here.
No, he never is anymore. So
He's not.
this is
Wow.
They're talking about misplacing your gun in your home. Now, Anthony does not have children. Everyone knows this. Richard
Right.
doesn't. So Richard starts explaining how dangerous that is if you have kids in your house.
Like, if you have people
Right,
in the
right.
house under the age of 18, I think it should be mandatory.
Okay.
Yeah. And I mean, this is.
And
this is
first
right
off,
where you're
first
going.
off, everybody who saw that video,
So John's not even paying attention because he's still trying to find the clip and he can't find
So
it.
bad. So bad.
So Richard's just like going off on shit he doesn't know any of the context of. John just showed him a quick clip. He's like, yeah, this guy, blah, 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 blah. If he has kids.
So embarrassing.
And what's great
yeah,
is
but don't forget, Cumia is out for blood now with
Yes.
Stuttering John. Like,
Really? Oh, I love it.
Oh,
I
God.
love it.
Oh, he did. You should, if you have time, AJ, go on YouTube. There's a 1 hour and 8 minute long clip of Anthony dismantling
It's
Stuttering
worth
John.
every second.
And it's hilarious. I think I've watched it thrice at this point. It's
Really?
great.
I just started doing Anthony's show a few months back, and I do it every couple of months. Yeah, I always liked Anthony, and I knew we would get together, but he was with Artie at the time, and I was writing for the tabloids, and he didn't want me around or want me on the show. But
Makes
I knew he
sense.
was going through hell. He
Makes
was going
sense.
through hell with
You
Artie.
do like to
Yeah,
tell
but-
people about his antics, so I could see why he wouldn't want you around.
I know, and then I left Radar, and they kept thinking every article about Artie was from me, and it wasn't, But yeah, Anthony was just so exhausted by it all.
Yeah, it's a lot.
It would have been a great show, but it didn't turn out that way.
It's a lot to deal with.
They're
So
at war.
these guys are all concerned about Anthony being safe with his gun and should he even be allowed to own a gun. And then I love Richard Ojeda because he always goes to violence. These guys are we're Democrats. We want everyone to get along and be happy. And then listen to this.
so anybody in her fucking family, anybody in her bloodline should be on the way to that friggin' house to literally curb stomp that fucking asshole.
Oh, that's good.
I know.
I know.
Because otherwise someone could get hurt.
Yeah. Just kill someone. You can't say retard, but you can curb stomp somebody who can't find his gun.
And not like theoretically, like someone should get cursed. I was like, no, Anthony Cumia should get curb stopped by these people. Like, what?
Absolutely.
What the fuck?
Oh, by the way, it's Ojeda. Ojeda.
It's Ojeda.
It's a Hispanic name. Ojeda.
It's Ojeda.
Can I tell you something crazy?
He says Ojeda. He says, what an
He
asshole.
pronounces his own name Ojeda.
He says Ojeda?
He pronounces
What
it
an
Ojeda.
Asshole. What an asshole.
I
It should be
know.
Ojeda. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God. All right.
But wait a
AJ,
second. Carl, I
This
have a question. How old is the clip that he was playing? Because I remember that years ago. Isn't that like...
yes, this is Anthony was arrested after this. He had to plea and go to rehab. This is all
Right,
water
I
under the
mean-
bridge.
Right.
Totally. So this guy's like as if it's today. Like he's showing him a clip that was from yesterday.
Right.
Oh, my. I know. I thought it was recent. It's
No,
all,
I'm sorry.
My God.
And John never explains that. So,
No, so-
Richard thinks this is all happening in real time and he's concerned about it.
Yeah. Somebody should go to the house now. It happened fucking 5 years ago. That's funny.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. How bad is that?
It was 5 years
How
ago.
stupid.
And actually, AJ, I'm so glad you brought that up because this has been an ongoing thing in our show because John always pronounces his name Richard Ojeda. And then right after he'll be like, all right, check out my Facebook page. It's Ojeda at blah, blah, blah. And then John will go like, thanks, Ojeda. It's like, wow, are you not listening? But
It's so
everyone
bad.
has a hard time with it.
Crazy that he says Ojeda, though. Gotta be honest with you.
There's nothing about him that's Latino. Nothing.
No.
I don't know where it is.
It's true.
I don't know where that. I don't know
Or
who's.
Jeddah for that matter.
Yeah. It must have been somebody had like a quarter of it. I don't know. He's nothing. There's nothing Latino about this guy. Or else he'd be cool with guns. Now he's so fucking anti-gun. It's ridiculous.
Well, AJ, he's going to give us his legal analysis after watching a couple clips of the video. This is great.
This is great.
And that video absolutely should be used, even if it's at the level of the magistrate. It should be used to basically do something, to deny him that ability. He should be charged. He put his hands on her, and then, of course, now can't find his weapon. All that should roll up into something that he gets hit with in the courts. And then he should get his ass whipped when he's in jail every day.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
I know.
But
I know.
That's what I've been telling everyone.
Right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
But Trump can't say anything about anybody, but you can go to someone's house and beat the shit out of them. That's fine.
Of course. They deserve it.
I hate these fucking liberals. I don't know what you guys are, but I'm as close to conservative as you can get. I just can't stand these fucking liberals, the way they think and talk. They're out of their minds. They're out of their minds what they want to do, what they want to say.
Oh, you should watch the Stuttering John show. We should have AJ back just to show him what's going on with this show.
I'll come back whenever you want. I'm sorry today was a little weird. I thought I was getting kicked out of the hotel, but I managed to get back in. I know we had a problem the first booking, but
no worries, buddy.
I'm down. I'm down all the time, brother. Whenever you want me, I'm here.
No, the reason why I say that is because you can't believe I'm with you. I think when you go too left and even too right, you start to get a little crazy. John is so fucking crazy, and he has no understanding of what he's saying and what his guests are saying. And this whole idea, like you would think he goes on there, he's trying to do a hit piece on Anthony. He's talking to his buddy Richard. Richard's going, he should be curb stopped. They should take him to prison. They should rape him in prison. You think he'd be like, all right, whoa. We're going a little too far here. So he's like, yep.
Meanwhile, if John was still screening calls and Trump called in to Stern, he would be all over him. Hey, Donald, how you doing, Donald?
He's fake.
Be on his knees. It's all bullshit.
So John's trying to do this whole hit piece on Anthony Cumia, but he can't even run his own show because he's so wet-brained.
So does John still have a show? What's it called now? Where do you hear the show? Where's John's show?
So this is the Stuttering John show, and he does it Tuesday, Thursdays, and Saturdays on
Tuesday,
YouTube.
Thursday, Saturday, and it's on like Spotify and Apple and all that shit?
Well, YouTube is where most people watch it. They watch it live on YouTube.
Okay, all right.
And then he has Beer on the Balcony still, too, on Saturdays.
That's what. Okay, I didn't know what you said. Beer on the Balcony. So I did a Beer on the Balcony show where I lay and basted him, I guess. I don't know. I did something.
AJ, you did Beer on the Balcony. It was seen by 12 people, and then we played clips of it, and then it was actually seen by people. So we got it out there for you.
He has no listeners, really, right? Like, he has no people.
Anthony's here. There's way more people that dislike this guy.
Just in time.
Where's Anthony? I love it.
Right here, man.
Hey, what's up, Ant?
Hi.
There he is.
What's up, AJ
man?
and Monique and producer Chris.
Dallas, Texas.
Nice.
I'm here at the hotel. And,
beautiful.
Having a little wine after last night's show.
Anthony, did you find your gun? Stuttering John is so upset. Did you find it?
He's so upset that 8 years ago or so,
8 years.
I couldn't find the gun that was on my hip. It must have fallen on the floor of my office. And I was like, where the fuck is that? And he thinks I'm running around, I left it out at a children's school.
Daycare.
Yeah. One of those trampoline spots where the kids jump up and down.
It's in a ball pit in the car.
In a ball pit.
It's actually a prize after you get enough skee ball tickets. You can get Anthony's handgun.
Well, let me ask Anthony a question.
It's in the claw machine. It's
in the claw machine. Do I want a bunny rabbit or that pistol?
Let me get that 45 right there. Oh, fuck, I dropped it.
Shit.
Anthony, all these years later, throughout all the radio wars and all the controversy, you're the guy on top. You really are. You made it through. Howard's not on top. I believe you're on top. He's not. No, I know, but you are still standing.
Opie's up there too. Let's not forget Opie. He's doing really well.
Does anybody ask you about Opie's show? Does anybody stop you and go, "Did you hear Opie yesterday?" No, they don't.
AJ, you're so out of the loop. we goof on Opie quite a bit.
Oh, okay. I thought you were serious. All right. Okay.
No, but the thing is, no one's looking at it for an entertaining show unless it's filtered through a show like Who Are These Podcasts, where it becomes funny. It's secret But AJ, thanks, man, because I do appreciate hearing that. I'm out doing things. We're doing 2 shows a night here. We did 2 shows last night, 2 shows tonight, and Alex Stein showed up. He fucking did a set on stage. It was hilarious. It's me, Josh Denny, and Gavin McInnes. You can't find 3 more canceled.
Gavin's great. Yeah, that's great.
3 more canceled fucking people that are going to these clubs and just knocking it out of the park. It's hilarious. It's fun as fuck. It's nice to know there are like-minded people out there that aren't, all petrified to go out and see real good, funny, irreverent, offensive comedy.
So no one's walking out, no one's offended, and they know what they're getting, right?
Well,
it's like paradise.
What's great about what Anthony's doing, and this is the thing that Stuttering John complains people are getting his gigs canceled. What Anthony has to do is literally not announce where the show is. You buy a ticket, and then you find out the day of the show, so people can't get it canceled.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we're in Dallas. So I said anybody within striking range of a gunshot from the book depository will be close enough to see the show.
Oh, that's great.
I get it. I get
That's
killing
great,
presidents
man.
jokes.
Yeah, it's fine. It's enough time has passed. It's fine.
Yeah.
And I want to ask you, do you know about this latest Stuttering John episode where he did a hit piece on you?
No. What did he do? He blocks me on all social media.
He brought he brought the Danny.
Shit talk.
I know it's a pussy move. He brought the Danny Brand video and played that for his friend Richard Ojeda.
He had played that on my show.
Yeah,
it was. Like,
Richard didn't know that it wasn't current.
Yeah,
that's the best part.
Yeah, he thinks it like just happened or something.
Like yesterday. Yeah,
he's on his way to your house.
I'm going to replay the last clip we played, Anthony, because this is what Richard Ojeda thinks should happen to you after watching just a few clips of that video.
Yeah, this only isn't current. When it happened, Obama was president. So it kind of gives you a gauge of how long ago this was.
Well, he's a journalist. John's a good journalist. It's you got to stay on top of shit.
And you're gonna love this because they're so concerned that you even own a gun because you're so reckless. But they're obviously against violence, you would think, too. Well, not so fast.
Not quite.
So anybody in her fucking family, anybody in her bloodline should be on the way to that friggin' house to literally curb stomp that fucking asshole.
I know.
He thinks Danny Brand's family should curb stomp you.
I deserve a fucking American History X curb stomping.
Yes, yeah.
Wow.
It's pretty
Who is
aggressive.
this guy, by the way? Who is this guy?
Richard Ojeda, the Army Major.
I don't even know who he is.
Nobody does.
I know. No one does. Nobody does.
It's John's buddy.
John's buddy for another 10 minutes until he realizes John's an asshole.
Yeah. They've never spoken since that day, trust me.
So then, Anthony, John watched that 4.5 hour long hit piece on you that's on the internet, and John's got all this ammo now. He's all excited to come after you. And so Richard jumps to this conclusion that you're like molesting children. And thankfully, John's like, well, I'm not saying that. I think John realizes that you can get, sued for doing things like that.
That would
if you put your hands on a child in that way, I think you should be castrated. I don't give a shit, man.
Wow.
Oh, I agree. But, I'm not saying he did, but just to say it.
All right, thanks, John. I'm not saying he did. All right, good. God. At least he got that covered.
I'm not saying he. Look, obviously.
You came on for the right time. This is the highlight of this part of the show because John's bringing all these clips. He's talking about you, and he's trying to say that you're a right-wing lunatic, and that's why he's talking about you.
Right.
And he's going to explain to us that it's not personal.
Oh, cool.
First of all, Gandhi saying, stop, it's getting too personal. It's not personal. I am pointing out to the Army Major, someone who owns a gun, if a guy who has a license to own a gun should have his license taken away if he's screaming drunkly that he can't find his fucking gun.
Drunkly.
And this is a righty who,
drunkly.
Drunkly.
Mensa.
has used the N-word and, the R-word for the mentally challenged, like in this day and age. This is a sick individual. And the reason why I bring it up is because this guy, just is like, he's sick. He's sick. And yeah, I don't know how he's allowed to walk free.
So John's concerned, I think.
How I'm allowed to walk.
He's concerned.
Yeah, it's touching.
I shouldn't be walking free.
If you told him tomorrow he could be on your show, he'd fucking get on his knees and take care of you.
Yeah, I know.
The Constitution obviously says, shall not be free unless you use the hard word, the N-word.
That other guy clearly must have PTSD. He's like rocking. He's waiting to like explode.
Yeah.
You see him? Like he's
Yeah, he's not right.
He's not right.
Calling anyone disturbed or mental or anything is hilariously funny.
I think there's a little bit of blood in his gin stream.
Well, what's great about this is that a chatter says, John, this is obviously just personal now. And John goes, it's not personal. Yeah. Meanwhile, the one thing he doesn't tell Richard Ojeda is that Anthony went on and said he was a shitty father a week ago.
Yeah.
This is personal.
He doesn't give any
This is extremely, there's context here. This is extremely personal.
Totally personal.
But what's really scary is of the two.
Father, I called him a deadbeat dad. Hasn't been paying his alimony or child support payment. Like, I just laid into him and said, go ahead, sue me. But of course he can't sue because that discovery would that would all be true, and so he's got to make it personal, which is fine. I don't care. It's hilarious. Everything he said, everything he's trying to bring up is this groundbreaking news. I literally did on my own show a few times. There's nothing I haven't talked about.
You know, I like that. I'm the same way, and I've gotten, when I was married, my wife would get mad that I divulged all this shit about me. And my current girlfriend goes, why do you tell people? Because I don't give a fuck. No one's going to get dirt on me. I'll give you the dirt.
Right.
Yeah, I'll bring the shovel, man. I'll bring it.
So
that's the best way to be.
John, again, explaining how this isn't personal, has nothing to do with, this is just a random occurrence that happened while he's playing this video.
You know, so it shouldn't be personal. We've got people in this world.
Someone sent it to me.
Yeah, we've got people in this world.
Someone just sent him the video, and his hands are tied here. He has to play it now.
And he still couldn't scrub to the right part either.
No, I couldn't find it.
Holy shit.
All right.
Well, I don't know what does John do next. I mean, the way this world is now, you don't need any experience to jump on the air and have a show. Everybody's a hack except for like 2% of the people out there. Everybody else has no experience doing this, no reason to be on air and divulging stories and shit. It's a very scary point in history.
I wonder what he thinks will come of this. Like, what is his goal here?
Right.
Playing the tapes, getting his good friend to commiserate with him about, like I said, things that I've discussed on my own show over the course of the years. What is he? Does he think like I fucking got him, dude? I got him against the
no, yeah. His big hope is that you'll see this, and by virtue of this show, you're seeing it. So in his case, he did what he wanted to do. He wanted to get under your skin, which it doesn't bother you. But that was his whole point. He wants you to hear this because he's crying out. I don't want to be a psychologist here. The guy's fucking crying out for help, wants to be on a show, wants to be heard again because he was heard by millions 20 years ago. Now no one listens to him. It's a sad tale.
He's so irrelevant, and he doesn't realize the only thing that makes him relevant are shows like for these podcasts. When I talk about him, when anyone, Julie talks about him, that's the only thing that makes this guy relevant. And it's a love-hate thing. He knows he's got to know in that big dumb head of his that it's really the only thing that makes people even interested in what he has to say. But it's all so toxic and caustic against him that, the old double-edged sword.
We've had that conversation, as you know, where I said to him, you should embrace these people. You should go on Dabblers. You should say, this is me. This is who I am. And he's like, I can't believe that you would even listen to them. Like, I can't believe that you would. It's like, what is wrong with you? Just if you defeat them, you defeat the troll. You defeat the troll by embracing them.
I was talking to Shuley about this because, he's all in with the Uncle Rico show, which is fantastic. I go, dude, we are one liver failure away from losing this content. You realize that? He goes, Carl, I don't care if he's in a hospital bed. He's going to find a way to broadcast. He needs fame more than he needs Coors. John will always be online doing something stupid. He can't help himself.
I'd like to tell the people there is a beloved host of a show that
wants to be anonymous.
Plant.
Wait, hey, Carl, does he talk about your show?
Does he talk about my show?
Yeah.
All the time, yeah.
Oh, he does.
Well,
Okay.
He doesn't say the words though. You know that. Like,
really?
Yeah, he refuses to admit that Carl has become Carl is like a giant fucking piece of sand in a oyster. And he is the biggest irritant that he has.
Right.
And so that's why he won't. And he is so upset that Carl makes money off of podcasting.
Yeah. He's starting to hate Shuli a little bit more now, too. So that's good.
I would like to see the ratings.
When I told John was calling me maybe when my podcast got off the ground and I went Patreon, I told him how many people I have, and I had 2 podcasts, and he was like just constantly, we got to do something together. We got to do a show together, man. Everybody wants me and you together. And I would never do a show with John, but he needs to latch on to somebody that's got any kind of listenership, because without Stern, without Anthony, without you, without me, whatever, no one cares. He's just flailing in the wind. Nobody cares.
All right. So at this point,
a tree falling in the woods with no one there to hear it.
At this point in the show, Richard wants to talk about Afghanistan. He's trying to get on some other topics of conversation because Richard doesn't know who Anthony Cumia is. He has no idea.
Oh, God.
So John recognizes the segue to bring it back to Anthony.
Oh, my God.
And that's why he was the one trying to get a friggin' pardon. So, they're the ones.
There you go. And that brings it right back to where I wanted it to go. Is, first of all, sexual predator on teens, Matt Gaetz, and Anthony Cumia. I mean, that's sick, A. Then getting arrested for domestic violence against your girlfriend? I mean, seriously? Strangulation? I mean,
and make no
and you're a right-wing fucking lunatic.
The best is he's talking about all these crimes, and then his kicker is, and he's a Republican. Yeah. He murdered his family, he tortured children, and he voted for Trump.
That's it. First of all, if you've never put your hands on your girlfriend, you've never been in love. Okay. Period.
Line of the day.
I'm sorry. If your girlfriend never had a bruise on her arm, you've never been in love. Okay, thank you. Sorry, I said it. It's true.
Right. Dude, we get a little passionate,
So now
it's Italian. I'm Italian.
So now John explains.
Shake them sometimes.
He would have played that video.
You fucking gindaloons. You're agreeing with each other. I can't believe it.
Listen, sometimes you got to tell. Look. I always say, whenever I see a girl get hit in a movie or she got a black eye, I always say to my girlfriend, she don't fucking listen. That's what happened. She'll listen.
It's the old Dave Attell joke.
Is that right? I did it way before him. Trust me. I did it way before him.
All right. So now he's explaining that it could have been anyone on the video. He still would have shown it to Richard. It has nothing to do with the fact that it's Anthony who just called him out for being a shitty person.
And if it wasn't Anthony Cumia, let's say that was Alex Jones, I would still play it to the Army Major. It doesn't matter. It's just the sickness that is alive and well and broadcasting right-wing horse shit. And that's what Cumia does, right-wing horse shit. And I want to just expose him for being the fucking pedo fucking, girlfriend abuser that he is.
Yeah, there you go.
Absolutely.
That's why I like Anthony. That's why I like him.
If anyone can come up with any instance where I had inappropriate relations with somebody, please do that.
Yeah.
Bullshit.
I don't know where they come out with that because I made jokes over the years. Because
I know.
For, younger, but everyone knows the bit. But John is taking this like it's a real thing.
Right.
Has to use that, and he seems a lot, like you said, a lot more pissed off that I'm a right-wing lunatic. By the way, all I do is all day I just pop up videos from police departments and statistics from big cities of who's committing crimes and whatever, and that makes me, a right-wing lunatic. Thank you.
So stupid, man.
He's an idiot.
Well,
he's
what's
so
great?
Anti-Trump. Yeah.
What's great is that he's obviously lying. To say that it doesn't matter if it was Anthony Cumia, if it was Alex Jones, whoever it was, he would have played this tape. John's so bad at lying too. When he starts to lying, and Shuli always points this out. John's not a stutterer anymore. But it's when he's lying that his brain can't connect the next thought that he's going to, because I would have said, because, I got to stop the GQP. Like, what are you talking about? So this is John explaining that he's exposing the hypocrisy. That's his mission.
At the end of the day, no.
Yeah, and Jules, just to answer, by playing this video, you become just as low as them, John. No.
By the way, Jules David is Mike David's wife. I don't think that's the real Jules David. I could be wrong. But I don't think that's Red Bar that's coming out here. Maybe it is.
No, I'm exposing the hypocrisy. Here they are trashing the Dems, and trashing. Yeah, but look what they're fucking doing, behind closed doors. That's all I'm doing.
What hypocrisy is he talking about? What does he mean? We're getting out here. We're all agreeing with everything that he's even telling us that we should be ashamed about. Like, oh, yeah, whatever. No hypocrisy.
I love all of his new political T-shirts, though, too.
Oh, really?
God.
Vote out hate. What a pussy. What a pussy. Vote out hate.
Dotard shirts. And, he's got the daughter is trans, right? So now he has to adopt every other platform that's just about being woke, Yes. That's that
the way it goes.
He may win back the love of that child that has disowned him because he was such a piece of shit, unavailable father.
Is that right? I didn't know that.
Oh yeah.
Is that right?
Well, the way to win her back is to talk about curb stomping.
That's completely.
Did you see my show with the Tommy Major?
Tell me, wait. So she disowned him?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Sergeant Barnes, what do you think?
He uses it as his shield, because every time that he's gotten upset with somebody that he threatens to sue, he brings up the LGBT community that we're talking about hate and racism.
Yeah, of course. It's all bullshit.
And this affects you how?
He's using his trans daughter as a shield, holds her up and goes, look, I can't be a bad guy. I'm a liberal. I've never done anything bad or racist or sexist or homophobic because, look, I got a daughter that cut her fucking tits off.
Oh, she went the whole route. She did it all?
Oh, yeah, did it all.
Oh, my God.
All right. Well, I don't want to get too much into that. We're making fun of his podcast. Let Anthony do that on his show. That's Anthony's thing. We make fun of podcasts over here. Who are these podcasts?
He's got the lawyer guns. He can do it.
So this is... Listen, I'm not afraid of getting sued by John. Don't get me wrong. I know. This isn't my point.
Hold it. Let me make a drink. Anthony's drinking. I want a drink. I'll be right back.
I'm so jealous.
Coming for you, Carl.
All right, so this is John explaining that, Anthony, I don't know if you know this, you have this crazy right-wing show that only talks to other right-wingers. And that's
always.
That's why he needs to take you down.
He's a righty. Oh, he's a big righty. And all his guests are all big righties. It's just crazy.
AJ's a big righty, but he just slapped him with his left hand.
And by the way,
AJ gave him a lefty.
Can I say that he's a lefty because every fucking person he has on his show is left wing and he never has a right wing. I would love to tell Dave Temple that he is a right wing. He's on my show a lot.
You have a comedy show, and he doesn't understand that.
He doesn't understand.
Not understanding that.
It's not a political show. I have plenty of people on with liberal ideology. We just don't sit the back and discuss politics to the point where we hate each other. Oh no, we talk about other things,
Anthony,
comedy, lifestyle, whatever you're doing.
You're part of the GQP machine, as he's going to explain to us.
Right.
I do 2 hours, three times a week, exposing the GQP, how corrupt and lying, and this Anthony Cumia piece of shit is part of that GQP machine, and that's why I exposed him.
God bless him. He exposed me.
So I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm just exposing.
So what his joke is?
I'm a regular Woodward and Bernstein.
His joke, AJ, is QAnon is now part of the Republican Party, so it's not the GOP, it's the GQP.
Right.
No one cares or knows about QAnon.
Got a lot of good jokes.
No one knows what QAnon is anymore.
I know.
No one cares.
Right, exactly.
So stupid.
Airborne.
So I don't give a fuck what anyone says. I'm just exposing horse shit. Like, I'm so sick of, just like Gates, just like you said, he's asking for a pardon.
All right.
Remember when John was able to get through to Trump on the plane or some shit? He was so happy about that.
News to me.
But that's like he just needs an audience so badly. If this, I know he makes no money on this, But that's all John. John just wants an audience to listen to his bullshit. What is it? I mean, he doesn't get a check from his show. There's no way he gets money.
He gets super chats.
Hell no.
He can't.
He gets super chats.
That's Coors Light money for an hour at a bar. That he
does he do cameos at this point? Like, what's he earning a living from?
I think he does cameos.
I think he's on Cameo, but I don't think he really does it.
No one cares.
He does charities.
Yeah, he runs a charity scam.
I swear to you, he doesn't realize it's funnier for anyone else to do a John impression as a cameo instead of actually getting John.
That's a great point.
Producer Chris is a cameo.
You're right.
Yeah, we don't need the guy. He's not funny. I'll just go, oh, happy birthday.
That's so good. We should open up cameos. You should open up a cameo account under his real name and just do him. And then just take his money and he'll fucking die. He'll die.
Oh, dude, that's hilarious.
Oh my God, that would be the most amazing thing if you did that. Seriously.
He'll drop dead.
All right, I have one more clip to play for you.
Wait, I have to just say this. He is so... his biggest problem is how thin-skinned he is.
Yes. Like, always has been.
He can't dish it out, and he can't take it. Like, he just... It's horrible. It's horrible that he is this guy. But I feel like a lot of extern employees are that way. No offense to you, Julie friend, but I'm just saying they're a little thin-skinned. They're just really.
Yeah. But you know what? But honestly, when he finally had his show and it was going to be a big deal, and I met him up at I forget what office is, and I said, I'll do your show, and I said, why don't you smack me back? It's been 20 years. Smack me back, and he was like, no. I said, yeah, just smack me on air so all your fans can hear that you got me back. Right. He didn't want to do it. He was petrified. I said, John, just fucking do it. And he did it on air, and everybody heard this. I don't know how many people were listening, but he did it. But he was so petrified to do it. So I don't know about he is thin-skinned, but yet when I gave him the opportunity to get back at me, he didn't embrace it. No, I think he wanted to be a victim. He wanted to be a victim for a long time.
Yes, he needs to have that to hold over your head. If it equaled out with him hitting you, he doesn't have that victimization and can't call you the scumbag that hit him. And that's what it is with John. And Artie Lang is the prime example of how this guy can try to dish it out and have no ability to take it. I've seen Artie goof on John like any comic would goof on another comic. Not exceptionally down and dirty or mean, funny as fuck. Because Artie, it was funny. And John would turn around and just start talking about you try to kill yourself, you stab yourself, your brother had to find you dying on the floor. It's like, hey, whoa, John, Jesus, I just lighten up a bit.
Before you came on, I told a big story about how everything came about with Artie. When the crashing premiere happened, he asked me to get him cocaine, and his whole fucking life went down the drain. And I used to call you or text you or tweet you, whatever, about Artie's problems, and I felt bad because I was writing for the tabloids. I don't anymore. But back then, I knew, I'm like, I don't want to put this on Anthony, but I got to ask a question. Like, what the fuck's going on? I knew you were going through hell, but I had to ask the questions. But do we know where he is now? Do we have any idea?
Last I heard, Florida with his mom.
Florida, all right.
And keeping clean, because, he has to take drug tests or he goes back to the joint. So he figured out a way to piss clean or he's been clean. So, everyone loves him and wishes him the best, except Stuttering John.
Thank you for that segue. Anthony, I have one more clip to play for you guys. And this is John. Now, Opie and Anthony were on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno. And as you guys might have heard, John worked for The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Yes, of course.
And normally, John doesn't like taking credit for things, but in this case, he has to let us know.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
I never listened to Opie and Anthony. I was on the Stern Show at the same time. I don't know anything about the fucking guy. All I know is that he was on a successful show for a short period of time in New York.
Sure.
And guess what? I even got Opie and Anthony on The Tonight Show. If it wasn't for me, their asses would have never got on there. Because when Debbie Vickers, the executive producer, asked me, John, you're from New York. Should we have these guys on? I go, yeah, sure. They have some New York fame, sure.
God.
And they know that I did that for them.
No.
Because I told them when they got there. I go, that it was me. And it was. But I didn't know what a sick, twisted fuck he was. If I Jeez, if I would have known, I would never have fucking, said, yeah, have him on.
God.
Said, yeah. Do you think John had any say over guest bookings?
Yeah.
They basically wanted him as the announcer for a week because it was a joke. Then they shoved him in some back corner closet under the guise of being a writer, which he never wrote anything that made it to air. And now the booker actually was like, we should ask John about this.
New York, because nobody else is.
My favorite part about that clip, he goes, and he knows that because I told him when they got here. Right. That part I believe.
Yeah, me too.
I'm the reason why you guys are here.
I got you. We're like, yeah. First of all, like earlier in that same year, we did Letterman.
Yeah.
Like, what was he also? Dave, I'd like to tell you, put these guys on. All right? You have my blessing, Dave.
Jim Norton also worked for Jay Leno. Jim Norton was a regular contributor to that show.
Right.
Funny part of Jay Leno's show early on.
Yeah.
And we had a relationship with Jay, and Jay wanted to have us on the show, and it was great. It was fun. It was funny. And I swear to you when I tell you this, I don't even think I saw John there. I don't think every memory I have of doing the Leno show does not include Stuttering John.
Oh, God.
Makes sense.
Really?
I don't even know if he was there when we were there.
I don't know.
And Anthony, I don't
know what year
I'm not
it was.
saying this to knock you guys because Opie and Anthony was huge at the time, but also Jay Leno was really pissed at Howard Stern, and he wanted to have you guys on because he knew that Howard hated you
anything.
guys.
Right.
Yeah, it was all. Yeah.
It had nothing
That's
to do
not
with
how
Stuttering John's. These guys, they passed the sniff test for me.
I did the on Letterman. I did the Howard impression on Letterman, and people loved it. And they thought it was funny. It was really the first time anyone had called out Howard in a humorous fashion, where I was doing the impression. I was saying, when people walk forward, they call it walking. I invented that. Like, that was a big thing because everyone knew Howard constantly said he invented everything. So it was funny. It was everything that it had to be.
Yes.
And Leno saw that and was like, oh my God, I like getting back at Howard. I took Stuttering John. This is the only reason I took him was to turn his screw into Stern. So that's why we were on. John, I swear to you, I would bet every dollar I have in my life that Stuttering John was never consulted about the booking of Opie and Anthony on Leno.
I believe it.
It's laughable that he would bring that up.
He's such a liar.
He's such a liar.
Yeah.
Or deluded. He might be that stupid. That's one of the things.
Where he believes it now?
Yeah, it's possible.
Yeah.
Because Opie's like that. Opie's so mentally ill, he believes the things he's saying.
Yeah, if you tell a lie to yourself long enough, you start to believe the lie without a doubt. Sure.
Stuttering John is the opposite of a beautiful mind. He's not a genius. He's an absolute dummy, but he has the delusions where he sees himself. He's like the king of comedy without the comedy part. Now,
when Russell Crowe,
if I may tell you.
When Russell Crowe is in front of the chalkboard and there's all like this big mathematical equation? In John's version, it would just be your face on the chalkboard.
Yeah. And then times 1 12-pack of Coors.
Divided by the refund.
Can't find is done minus, just a whole mathematical equation.
Ganji, he's got a picture of Ganji with a string, with a string going to fucking Howard.
Ganji, we need that hostage board behind him with the thread that goes from the
the threads.
Yeah. We need that. We need that whole thing.
I figured it out. I'm an idiot. All signs point to I'm a jerk.
Listen, he might have that in his fucking house. I think he lives in I know where he lives.
Canoga Park. He has an apartment.
Park,
it's not a house. It's an apartment.
He was inviting me over and shit about 3 years ago. I would never go over. But I bet he has the board downstairs in his basement because he has one of those houses right now I know, and I don't want to be mean, but I know there are rooms with no furniture. I know it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like a scat house.
Yeah. You sure he doesn't live in a park in Canoga?
Park in Canoga.
Confusing that.
Yeah, it's Canoga Park. Yeah,
he just lives on a balcony.
The squirrels are my friends, but I owe one of them money, so he doesn't come around.
AJ, I know you're making jokes, but I happen to know this for a fact. His apartment is 975 square feet. not a big
Really?
place, and there are empty rooms. That's
Isn't it?
Right. I knew it. I knew it. I have
The cat has to shit somewhere.
I know. See, I have this spidey sense about people. I can just feel what's going on in their lives, John.
Yeah.
I don't want to say, I don't want people to fucking suffer and be sad. But if he's gonna be a douchebag and talk shit about people, then fuck you.
That's it. Look, I feel there is some humanity in me where I feel sorry for the guy. And we had Dr. Steve on my show the other day, and he goes, "Yeah, I'm starting to get a Lady Di vibe from it." And Lady Di, of course, the Lady Di from our show, who wound up getting Alzheimer's and having some strokes and having a huge alcohol problem. So, yeah, I was just going like, oh, man, now I feel bad. 2 seconds later, after hearing one clip from him, I'm like, oh,
fuck you.
Yep. Yeah. All bets are off.
Exactly.
All bets off.
Who are these podcasts? WAT.